This is Jonathan Agnew here for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm joined by Otto Wallin over Zoom. Otto, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Let's go straight into it. Big news announced last week, late last week. You will face Dillian Whyte at the O2 in London on October 30th. This is the opportunity you've wanted, Otto, for ages.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even since the Fury fight, this is what I wanted, and I had two good fights in between, and now I'm ready for this big fight.
I'm interested now how this came about because Eddie Hearn said a couple of weeks ago that Chris Arreola was the front runner, Jermaine Franklin also in the mix, and a couple others. How did it come about? Were you surprised when you got the call?
A little bit. It came out of nowhere, but I've been kind of feeling that me and Dillian's gonna fight at some point. So I wasn't too surprised, but I thought that he was gonna fight first Franklin. They said that was done, and then Chris Arreola. So I was in talks to fight Luis Ortiz, and I had said yes to that, but that fight fell through for some reason, and then we got this call, so we jumped on this instead.
When we spoke, maybe in July, I think it was, you were sort of frustrated that you hadn't got the
Yeah.
opportunity. You were calling for these big fights. So have you been training all the way through since your fight in February?
I have. I had maybe a week or two off after that fight, and then I've been straight back into it. So, I mean, at this point, I've been training for like 7 months, and when I spoke to you last time, it started to get to me a little bit. And so, I would say July, August was a little difficult month, so honestly, and I was fed down a little bit. I just kept training and training and training, and you hear nothing about any fights. But now today, I'm really happy that I stayed dedicated and I was training all this time because now I got the fight. So now I'm more ready for it than I was before.
What did you make of the reaction when the news broke? A lot of people were happy to see this fight. People think it's going to be a good fight, a close fight. What did you make of the reaction?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, when I fought Fury, everybody was laughing at me and thought that I was just gonna get knocked out like Tom Swartz. But I think now people know who I am. They know that I'm good, and they respect me more. So that's good.
How do you think you've come on since the Tyson Fury fight? It was actually the anniversary of it, of I think 2 years ago, the other week. How do you think you've maybe changed, maybe progressed as a fighter?
I feel like I've progressed a lot. That was my first fight at the big stage. I know now that I can perform at the highest level. And so there's a lot of things that I take from that, some things that I do good and some things I can do better. So it was a really good learning experience and a great experience in all for me, just not just the fight, but everything around it and stuff. So now I know how it is and I know that I can do it. So I'm more prepared this time.
You obviously had Fury hurt in that fight, and we all know what happened. Um, Given the fact you weren't able to win the fight, has that played on your mind ever since? When it comes to another big fight, you want to make sure you get that win this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little frustrating. He had two very big cuts, Fury. So I felt like it should have been stopped. But at the same time, I gotta force them to stop it as well. So I know that now, and like I said, I'm more prepared now, and I just this fight is in UK, but so it's not my home, but I'm from Sweden. It's not too far away, but I'm actually think it's an advantage too compared to the Fury fight that people actually know me now, and I think that they're gonna hopefully give me a fair shake over there.
Do you think? In terms of looking at Dillian Whyte, obviously he's beaten every single fight he's ever faced, apart from Anthony Joshua, and the other guy he lost to, he avenged the defeat against Povetkin. What do you think you bring to the table that perhaps he hasn't seen in his career?
Well, one of the things is I'm a southpaw. I don't know if he has ever fought in a southpaw, not at the high level at least. Maybe he fought some southpaws early on. I'm not sure actually, but that's one of the things. I'm southpaw, and I'm also a very good school boxer. I'm intelligent and I can adapt, I think. and I have a great team around me, and we've been laying a great game plan. We're working on that. We're studying him, and I think that yes, I'm a smart fighter. I'm pretty fast. I got good feet, and also I got good defense. So I think that that's plays in my favor. And I'm also fresh compared to Dillian. He's a little older than me, not too much, but he's been in very tough fights, and he's been knocked out twice. He's been hurt different times. So I think that that's to my advantage also, that I'm a fresh up and coming guy.
That said, though, given the fact he has had those fights, as you mentioned, he did lose to Povetkin and then won the fight. He has that, I guess, experience advantage. How do you sort of close that gap?
Yeah, he has, but yeah, at the same time, it's like you gotta weigh the both. He has a lot of experience, but he's been in very tough fights. So I feel like he's slowing down a little bit. I got some experience myself. I fought Fury, and I fought Brazil, went 12 rounds. So I've been 12 rounds 3 times in my career. Dillian, yes, he has more experience probably, but I got some experience too, and I don't think that's gonna be the decisive thing.
Hmm. How do you expect him to approach the fight? I mean, in the first fight against Povetkin, he boxed his way and he did get the 2 knockdowns, but he's shown improved boxing skill over the years. But in the rematch, he went for the knockout and got it. So,
Yeah,
which version do you expect to turn up?
I would expect him to come out and try and be aggressive and bully me a little bit. I'm a little taller than him, and I'm a good boxer, so that's what I expect.
Hmm. How excited are you to fight in front of the UK fans? I was actually watching your fight with Brazil the other day, and you can actually hear the commentary whilst
Yeah,
fighting. It was because it was behind closed doors, so you've got to be excited to be back in front of fans also.
yeah, for sure. I mean, my 2 last fights has been behind closed doors, and you can hear the commentary. You can hear, I mean, if anybody says anything, you can hear it pretty much. And now going to the UK, I watched the Kell Brook fight one time in Sheffield. That was great atmosphere, and I think it's going to be really good at the O2. Hopefully, some people will cheer for me also. I got some of my friends, my family, and some other Swedish people coming over, so I think it will be good.
Brilliant. Also, I mean, victory would put you right back in that position to face Tyson Fury, the WC interim title on the line. So, would you say this is the biggest fight of your career compared to the Fury fight?
I mean, that fight is probably a little bigger, but it's a little different here. And I feel like now, it's the big title, the interim belt, and big for Swedish boxing actually. Also, we had Ingemar Johansson. He fought for something similar in the '60s before he fought in Sweden. He fought a German guy, I think it was Eddie Machen, and then he won that fight, and then he got the world title fight with Floyd Patterson over here in New York. So 60 years later, I'm kind of in the same position and hope to do the same thing.
How much does that part of it mean to you, being able to sort of make history for your country?
It means a lot. I get great support from there, and people are behind me. Boxing's not that big over there, but it's really fun. I think it's fun both for me and the people that they see that you can actually make it in boxing also coming out of Sweden. So I think it's really fun, and I'm proud to represent my country, and I'm happy about all the support I get.
Do you feel like you're also representing your sort of adopted home now in New York?
Yeah, I'm trying. They don't know me as much here yet, but we're working on that, and hopefully, I mean, beating Dillian Whyte here, that can propel me and really see people that I'm here. I'm so-called New Yorker now. I feel like.
Well, the fight is on DAZN, so yeah, I'm sure it's going to be shown obviously to the US fight fans as well as in the UK. Also, just lastly on this fight, talk us through how you think the fight, obviously without giving away game plans, but how do you see this fight playing out between you and Dillian Whyte on October 30th?
I honestly think that I can outsmart him. I can be, I'm a good fighter, and people know that now, and he's gonna know it when we're in there. And I think that, I can outsmart him, put on a clinic, and shut him down.
Okay. Also, just 2 final things before we finish up. We've spoken about Joshua Usyk, so not going to go over that. But one thing I did want to pick up on, obviously you've faced Joshua, I believe, in the amateurs, you've sparred him. What was the experience like sparring him back then? What was the most impressive thing, would you say?
Yeah, so we fought twice in the amateurs. I lost close decisions, but good fights. I would say that he was more of like just a big, strong guy in the amateurs when we fought, because this was very early on for both of us. So I would say that he was a big, strong guy back then. Then when I sparred him before he fought Charles Martin in 2016, I sparred him a lot for that fight, and I could see the improvement. He had become much more technically sound, and he wasn't just strong and big anymore. He had some, he was pretty fast and had good technique also. So I think that he's been improving. He was back then when I sparred him. I could really feel it though.
Have you sparred him since? Because I read something where they asked you maybe to come for this camp. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, yeah, I was offered to come for this camp and I wanted to, but the travel restrictions wouldn't let me because I didn't have this fight with Dillian yet. So the problem would have been if I would have gone, I might not have been able to return to the US. So I had to say no.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just finally, Otto, news sort of just came through that Manny Pacquiao said in an interview that his career is over. What do you make of that? Yeah, he said my boxing career is over. He's running for presidency. What do you make of that? What's your reaction? And what would you say your favorite Pacquiao fight is of all time?
Yeah, I saw that he was going to run for president. I didn't see that he was going to retire, but he's been such a great fighter, and it would be unbelievable almost if he can become the president.
Yeah.
That even shows that you can. If you're a big star in boxing, you can be you can become president somewhere. So, no, that's really good. I think he seems to be a good man and want to do the right thing for his people. So I think that's good. Favorite fight. Early on when he came up, when he fought De La Hoya, that was a really good fight. Barrera, right?
Yeah, Barrera,
yeah. Like when he came up and he was pretty much unknown, and I think when I look at him, I like to watch those fights.
Yeah, those were great ones.
Yeah.
Otto, look forward to seeing you in the UK October 30th. I'm sure we'll catch up on Fight Week. Appreciate your time for pro boxing fans, and any final message for you for the UK fans? Get to see you in action at the O2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward coming to the UK. I hope some people root for me also. I'm gonna be ready for the fight. I know Dillian now, and we're studying him, and I'll be ready, and I'm gonna be able to pull off the win.
Appreciate it, Otto. Take care of yourself.
All right.